Hey YouTube, this is Anthony with Springs 15, and this is week 2 of the 100 book challenge, Ben's edition. And I wanted to get this video rolling. This one will be shorter than the other, but just a little quick information in case this is the first time you're seeing one of these videos. The challenge is to source 100 books a week to sell on Amazon. I do FBA. Fulfillment by Amazon, and I'm looking to do this challenge every week for the next 90 days with a goal of creating 10K in revenue in total sales. So we will see how we go. Again, this is week 2. Now, one of the things I didn't really talk about in the first video is where I'm finding the time to source during this challenge. So the first week was actually a bit of an anomaly. I had vacation because my mother-in-law was in town. So I was off work, I just had free days, and I just went and probably spent a couple hours at the bins. I think I did 3 days that week, a couple hours at a time. Not what I'll be able to do for the rest of the challenge. And how I'm going about that is just after work, heading over to the Goodwill outlet and sourcing until they close. Now I get off at 6 and I'm able to get there about 6:20, get myself prepared, get inside. So I guess you could say I'm starting about 6:30 and have to wrap up about 7:45, 7:50. So I don't really get a full hour and a half in when I'm doing it during the week like that. Now my goal is to be able to get what I need during the week and not have to source on the weekend. But like with this week too, I did end up sourcing on the weekend. So it'll happen, but I'm hoping to get most of this done during the week and just be able to list and box or label, box, and ship out on the weekend. So just to hop into these numbers again, this was for day 4, excuse me, not day 4, week 2. Actually, I did 4 days of sourcing this week. And I'll have the stats here that I'll throw up quick and kind of talk through those. All right, so I should have the numbers up there now. And just to run through these quickly here, again, I sourced 4 days this week, 3 on the weekday, 1 on the weekend. Again, what that looks like for me during the weekday, it's about an hour, 15, 20 minutes. On a weekend, about 2 hours. So you can do the math there. Purchased 126 books, listed 117 of those. Reason for the discrepancy is due to some bad buys. Books that when I scanned them through the second time because I sort before listing. So I'll scan again to price them. And it wasn't the profit margin that I was looking for. I might have just seen something weird or been rushing while I was at the bins and made a poor buy decision. So some of it was bad buys. The other was some personal purchases. I buy a couple books for my son and one for myself. I came across the Automatic Millionaire finally, so picked that one up. Now, as far as the estimated average profit for these 117 books, that was $14.44 per book, and that's less than it was last week. Last week we were around 20 bucks, but also the average sales rank dropped as well. So average sales rank is 1.6 million this week versus I believe it was 1.8 last week. And again, that's a bit higher for me because I am not afraid of the $1 million rank mark, because I use some other indicators to let me know that a book is still a good buy and can be sold. And a lot of it has to do with supply and demand. And now as far as the cost, again, it's just 50 cents per book. So for 117, that's $63. There is tax involved, again, just to keep things simple. I don't include that on here. I don't think that's an issue, but so estimated net profit for the 117 books is $1,688.99. Now, in case you're wondering why I keep saying it's an estimate, that's because that's the amount of profit that I would get if every single book sold for the price that I'm listing it at. And if you have been selling on Amazon, or you know that sometimes depending on how many books may arrive or what may happen with the pricing while your book is actually en route to be listed, you may have to change what you originally expected to list that at. I currently am still doing this manually. I do have access to a repricer. It came with the scanning software I use, and then I hear Amazon has a free repricer, which I was kind of surprised. Maybe I'll find out more about that. But I try to reprice my books once a week to keep them positioned where I like so they can sell. Again, it's a battle between positioning and price. Sometimes it's too steep, too deep of a cut to be in the top position or the first position to sell, so you stay back a little bit. But that was the net profit. Now, one of the things I talked about last week is I did hear someone say that a good expectation when it comes to profits is about 80% of that estimated net. So 80% of that comes down to about $1,350, which for 63 bucks spent, I'll be very happy with that. Not mad at that at all. So as far as the number of scans this week, I don't have this on the image, but I had 1,014 scans to get the 1,000, I wish, to get the 117 books, and that's an accept rate of about 8.5%, somewhere in there, 8.5%. So those are the numbers quick. Let me pull that down. All right, so just an update on what the active inventory is looking like. Today, as of today, about 75 of the 82 that were sent in are active. So, I mean, they're still within their first 24 hours, but there are at least a lot more active now, and they should actually, it'll make next week's update more interesting. As far as sales so far, nothing worth getting into. Again, with them, the majority of them just kind of becoming active, and me just kind of getting into moving around and repricing them, positioning them. Only one sold, nothing to clap about. It was like a $10 book. But as we get more in, and again, especially next week, we can start looking at turn rate and talk about that a bit more, as well as revenue and sales and inventory and what I have on hand, what all that looks like. So week 3, a bit more exciting. A little bit more of the numbers to get into, and I'll actually see if I can't pull up the spreadsheet when you are on the 100 book, or the 100 book challenge.com website. They actually have a spreadsheet that you can use to track. So I'll see if I can throw that up as well and show some of the stats there. But again, with that, I just want to wrap things up, keep it a little bit quicker today. Week 2 in the books, week 3 coming up. And again, we're pushing about 100 books. Again, the first week we're slightly under 100, but this week much better, 17 books over. So on task as far as that's concerned. Now it's just a matter of letting the sales start to kick in and see how that all pans out. But anyway, with that, I'm gonna say good night. Again, Anthony with Springs 15. Thanks for watching. Again, if you have anything to add or any questions, please do comment below. But again, if you enjoy the video, or at least like kind of seeing what's going on, please do like, subscribe, and check out week 3 when that comes out here in a few days. Take care.